Hey, bum 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 bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to Stop the Idiot. I am the huge one, aka the idiot, Dave Koco from DAVCoco.com, and joined with my buddy from the Idiot Express, Boom Boom. We're just answering questions off Twitter or any other social media. You can find us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, at KocoSports, and hopefully we just keep rocking. This one from Ray T from HTX. Oh, me and Boom Boom were like, what's HTX? Houston, Texas. And then the thing is, like, do you think it's Houston? And then right down below is like, from Houston, Texas. Of course, of course. Anyway, Ray T, thank you. This is the question. Do you think the way New Japan is losing its fan base, and it's losing it bad, especially here in Japan, recently in the growing popularity of Noah, we are Noah, is New Japan about to go through the dark ages like they did in 2000s before the rise of Tanahashi? No love for Okada? No love for Nakamura? Okay. Would you really like to hear your thoughts on it? All the best. Ray T, thank you so much. It means the world. Booms, do you want to go first? I'll let you go first. You're the guest. Hot tag, friend.
You know what? I'm gonna say no. They're not gonna go through a dark age like they did in the 2000s. That the reason they went through New Japan went through the tough times that they went through then was because of one person and one person only, and Antonio Inoki.
How dare you?
And yeah, it's true. He basically he pulled a Vince McMahon before Vince McMahon did it. He, uh, you know, brought a company from the ground up. It garnered a lot of critical commercial success. It was popular with the fans. And then just one day, he just decided MMA was cool and wanted to make his wrestling promotion more like MMA. And he did that at the expense of his own wrestlers by literally feeding them to MMA fighters. I mean, what do you? Hashimoto pretty much got his career destroyed because of that, and a lot of people and fans stopped showing up in droves. Wrestlers fucking quit. I mean, why do you think Muda is now with Noah right now?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of roads along the way before that, but yeah.
Yeah, but essentially that's one of the things that happened.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
And then afterwards, it took Ukes, the video game company, buying out Enoki's share in New Japan, and so they could finally get the ship righted. And then they had to build trust among their fans, and then of course that led to Tanahashi, and then this big explosion. Just right now, and it's not completely the pandemic's fault, but I would say at least half the problem stems from the pandemic in some shape, form, or fashion, because one, you really can't get foreign talent unless they live there. And, unless you're like Chase Owens or whatever, who's living over there, or Zach, was Zack Sabre Jr.? Yeah, who's living over there, you're really not going to get talent. I mean, and if you do get them, it's going to have to be for a significant period of time, because with Japan, and when that's not New Japan's fault. You're going to have to go there and isolate in a hotel for like 2 weeks just before you can do anything. And then if you leave Japan and then you come back, guess what? You got to start all over again. You got to do the 2 weeks quarantine. They've done limits with the crowds. They told them not to cheer, not to boo, but to clap. And, there's only, so much you can do. Now, the other half of the problem, I'm going to say it because I've been a big defender of them, but I think it's going to be Gato. Because name me anybody outside of Kazuchika Okada that has been booked to be a good, amazing, mind-blowing champion.
I agree with you, and I also disagree. So some things I agree tremendously. I am not as hard on Inoki because I lived through that era, and he made mistakes, but I believe Meltzer saying and always saying that that's the reason it kind of grew. You know what I mean? Like, Inoki was a little bit of the problem, but there was more problems than just Inoki, and I think Inoki gets too much of the blame but at the same time, he was in charge. So, you know, it's one of those things. I think Enoki gets too much of the blame, and I don't think Gedo gets enough of the blame. You know, that's my stance on it. And yeah, the
Well,
pandemic.
that, and I don't think Asahi TV or whatever's helping.
Oh yeah, they're fucking
They're
douchebags.
another big fucking problem because when you have shut down YouTube channels who hype up your product for free, and then you sue people for using pictures and all this other stuff, when you're basically telling people "fuck you," don't be shocked when people tune the fuck out.
Yeah, and the thing is too at Asahi TV, which all the best part is, me and Bear Friend, we were sitting by their employees, and they heard it all. Like one guy gave me a dirty look, and I'll be like, "What? Oh fuck." What did I say? I basically said, I'll beat you so fast that you will fucking don't have time to copy strike it. And I said it literally in person. And that guy just turned around and ate his fucking popcorn. It's like, he was like, I work for Sorry TV. I'll beat you so fast you won't have time to copyright strike it. And they're like, gonna eat some popcorn. And then I kept asking if which employee was thrown off the second floor. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry TV. Waiting for that interview. First question. We'd like to interview the employee that was thrown off the second floor during lockdown, during the Olympics, at a bar. Yeah. We look forward to the interview. Where did I go? Fuck Asahi TV. Second is the pandemic. Noah had to deal with it. Dragon Gate had to deal with it.
I agree. And I think they dealt with it better.
Everyone dealt with it better. And then if everyone gets thrown the same problem, and everyone dealt with it a million times better. Because I can't think of a company that handled it worst. I can't think of a company that handled it worst in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? We are not big WWE guys. WWE handled it better. I haven't kept up with Impact. Impact has handled it better. AEW handled it better. All Japan, Dragon Gate. Hell, even their sister promotion, in every sense of the word. Stardom handled it better. They handled it the worst by far. At Wrestle Kingdom, though, it was kind of cool. They did get a little creative with the collapse, so I liked that. And it was the least I've been to, and I said this in other videos, so I'll make it quick. I've been to over 1,000 events at the Tokyo Dome. Night 2 was the most empty I've ever seen that. And every year I go to Wrestle Kingdom and the Rice Bowl, unless, of course, my job tells me not to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time in 20 plus years the Rice Bowl, which, by the way, the Tokyo Dome considers a charity event, outdrew Wrestle Kingdom. And those fans were going crazy. And they've still followed the rules. You know, you can have bangers, you can have lights. Like, look here. Here's a light. You can get these lights fucking rocking. Is it not going to work? Right there. Get these lights rocking. And then I don't know, I got 2 Okada bangers, and you can bang it, and you also have cardboard. Maybe I'll have to show it, but there's ways to make noise. And the Rice Bowl was packed, and it was loud as fuck while people still followed the rules. Pro Wrestling Noah had a great showing all year long, and right now I compare this where New Japan is where WWE is dying, and Noah is where AEW is growing. And it's getting closer and closer. And of course, there'll be those that are super loyal to WWE and New Japan. But unlike that, oh, here they are. Thank you, Bear Friends. I got my Okada whackers. Boom, boom. Have you ever seen Okada whackers? Here they are.
I have not.
Look, you gotta watch the YouTube videos. And then you're gonna get the whole stadium. The Rice Bowl, that shit was fucking rocking. New Japan, wow. If your name wasn't Okada, they didn't give a fuck. They did not give a fuck. No, that's not true. The wrestlers' return they cared about. So they have to fix it and improve it. And I don't think we're in the dark ages, but we're at the Titanic sinking, and they have to do something quick. And now they're working with Noah. Strong rumors about All Japan. Obviously, they own Stardom. For those that don't know, a lot of reports Noah owes millions of dollars to New Japan. So it's kind of like a relationship like this. Like, hey, we're saved you. Now, motherfucker, you owe us. You got to save us. So it should be interesting. I don't think there's Dark Ages, but if Gato books the same way he booked for the last 3-4 years, it is going to be the Dark Ages. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're there, but I think we're sinking. And Asahi TV destroying people that are positive about it or negative about it is not helping. Ghetto's booking's not happening. And basically all you got is there's a pandemic. Noah had the pandemic, and you walk outside here in Japan, all you see is Pro Wrestling Noah, and that is a big sign. In Japan, marketing, all that, there's a saying: if you start seeing people on the billboard, you won the fucking war. I don't see New Japan on billboards anymore. I've seen Noah. I've seen people go it, and not all that, but Noah has a really good storyline going right now, the We Are Noah, and they always shit talk.
Well, what's the storyline?
I'm going to paraphrase it. This is me dumbing it down.
Mm-hmm.
They, which they never say their name, they is New Japan. They forgot where they've come from. They forgot what we cared about. They forgot about us. They only care about the West. They, and then out of nowhere, We Are Noah. It's fucking great, because if you love Japanese style of pro wrestling, they are hitting every fucking chord. Matches, promos, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It was kind of a crazy invasion. We're like, oh, Muda's here, Noah's here. And it was just We Are Noah. And here's the thing. They were cutting a promo, and New Japan fans are like, they're fucking right. It would be like the NWO coming and be like, we're going to fucking kill this company. And WCW fans are like, yeah, fucking go for it, man. Fuck it. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Even, what's his name? The Dragon came out, and he's like, you can't draw a house. And Dragon's like, yeah, fucking tell me about it. But you can't book poorly 4 years in a row and blame contracts. But you know what I mean? Eventually you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, it's my fault, you know? And that's it. So I'm hoping they turn it around. I don't think they're in the Dark Ages yet, but I do. And guys, I don't know if I've ever said this before. Booms, have you heard this? I have the answer. One champion, one title, 1 year, one kingdom. That's it. 4-step plan. If you, I kid you not, I know so many New Japan fans here and there, and Wrestle Kingdom, we started getting talking, we started getting exciting, we're starting to get pumped up, and that's all they're talking about. I know this. If Naito or any random person, no offense to Naito, he's past his prime. I know New Japan fans don't believe that. As soon as you're like, Naito's not past his prime, I just know you haven't been watching that long. It's like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? It's like, I call you Wikipedia Dan. You know what I mean? Naito's not past his prime. Cool story, Wikipedia Dan. But if Okada doesn't keep the title to next Wrestle Kingdom and they don't build someone up, I know so many fans that are washing their hands of it. So I think, boom, we watch college football. You love college football more than me. I love the video game college football. I'm going to try to get into it into retirement. This reminds me of, you better fucking win now or you're fucking gone. You know what I mean? That's what year this is. Go ahead, Booms.
Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot in college football. It's like sometimes, you have a coach that falls short of expectations, but the administration backs that person. But then they tell them, there comes to a point where it's the beginning of the season. They go like, look, in so many words, they're saying, look, you're coaching for your job this year. If you don't get results, we're just going to find somebody who will.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, I think this is where it's going to have to be with Ghetto. And
on top of that, they are doing some pretty smart things, because it took a lot for Japanese purists, Japanese fans, people that live in Japan. But you're white. I get it. Fans that live on this island. It took a lot for us to even accept that title, and they literally had to do Okada. Okada's like, hey, because here's the thing. A lot of stuff got boos. And that is not in its culture. And it isn't foreigners because, I mean, there was 4 foreigners in the Tokyo Dome. That's pretty low
And you were
considering it was
one
only
of them.
98 paid. I'm being sarcastic. But there wasn't that many foreigners. And that's the first time I heard boos at a Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe ever. Ever. Every time they showed the fucking new title, there was boos. When Okada won and went the title, people went crazy. And when Okada bowed and gave it away, and then they gave him the title, there was fucking boos. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the title changing, the erasing of history, because that's the thing. Okada's gear was his gear. Everything was the kanji of the history, and he was representing the history because they want to erase the history, so they don't have to show Bob Sapp, they don't have to show Brock Lesnar. They don't, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But here's the thing: it's just like that's what Japan fans care about the most. You know what I mean? And they're trying their hardest to be like, no, this new title, this new era, you know, because like the joke was, what was it? Beyond the legacy, and the joke was that was the Wrestle Kingdom slogan. The joke was save the legacy, and it was just like, yeah, they have a lot to fix. You know what I mean? Asahi TV problems against English speakers. A lot of Japanese fans, the We Are Noah basically means we remember our roots. We are Japanese pro wrestling. That's what it's translating into. And if you put aside, country, race, and all that, there is a style of wrestling in Japan and a fan in Japan that doesn't exist in North America. And Gedo and New Japan care so much about North America. A, they're failing to AEW. And B, they're also failing. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. When they lost the AEW crew, they were spread too thin, but they were still stubborn and went. You know what I mean? And then it
Mhm.
was like, oh, we got to impress these people. It's like, sorry, you have to impress your home base. And not that, but I've said this before. Foreigners that watch New Japan actively seek something out that they didn't get in WWE. Why would you be like, oh, we got to be like WWE? And you'll get that one guy like, oh, Okada has the title too long. I've never heard anyone in Japan ever utter those words because they believe the best wrestler should have the title. I've heard, pardon me, but the evil white and who else followed what the hell? You know what I mean? One of those. So I don't know. They are now or never, do or die. And I hope, because the thing is, you don't want Dixie Carter fans. You don't want people to say, I hate WWE, make it just like WWE, because they don't last. You need fans that love the product that you make, and you stop making the product you love. You're famous for. So it should be interesting. I guess the best way to describe it is backs against the wall. Booms, you want to add anything?
No. I really hope they turn it around. You keep hyping up Noah. Maybe I need to give them a better look, see what they got to offer. Hopefully, they got English commentary, so I know what the hell's going on. But I'm really pulling for New Japan to right the ship.
Yeah, definitely. Because like as a wrestling fan that doesn't live in Japan, I've had conversations. Boom. I don't know if you can back this up or not. It takes a lot of work to enjoy a different product, and then when that product goes down, you like. I know it's a hobby, but you have to buy New Japan. You have to buy New Japan World. You have to fucking learn new shit, and it takes a lot of work. And then but if it pays off, it's worth it. But then when that thing goes down, are you like, am I willing to put that much work into a new product? There is that. I feel like a lot of foreign fans are in that. I don't know if I'm putting words in your mouth, but I've heard a lot of foreign fans say that. And yeah, so we got Noah. And someone smarter than me described it. There are 2 different styles of wrestling where Noah is more defensive style and New Japan is strong style where they attack more. So
Mm-hmm.
even Noah and New Japan's a little bit different, but yeah. So New Japan, Noah, most likely All Japan, all working together with some stardom. Hopefully it will get it. But let me tell you, if Naito wins the title or they give it to some fucking random jamoke, I guarantee that is the Dark Ages. Like, it's close to the Dark Ages, but Okada losing to some random fucking person. I don't know, Booms. Who do you think could beat him? Maybe Naito? And no offense to Naito. I don't mean to shit on Naito. But,
I'm thinking Shingo Takagi might be the guy who comes back and beats him.
yeah, you better build him up for a year. Like, if
Yeah,
the dragon beats him in March or June, forget it. That's officially the Dark Ages. If they give a title to someone that they haven't built up, because you need to go to Kingdom with people going, fuck, Okada's still champ? Oh, this random star you built up better win. And if you don't do that, that is entering the Dark Ages. That is entering the Dark Ages. And right now, you know, I feel bad even saying this. If Okada gets injured, it's over. If Okada goes out there and gets injured like Ibushi, it's over. It depends on Ibushi's health. Maybe you can build him up. I think Ibushi would be the quickest to build up. You know what I mean? But anyone else, I don't know who you can build up quick enough. You know, that you have to spend a year, you know? But yeah, once again, don't think they're in the Dark Ages, but think very close. Booms, you got to say anything before I say like, comment, subscribe?
It's pronounced pecan, not pecan. That's what I want to tell everybody.
Are you for real? Is this 100% shoot?
Yeah, 100% shoot. It's pronounced pecan, not pecan. Pecans are what LeSueur makes.
I had no idea that. I was today years old when I found out. Fuck pecans and pecans. There, I said it. Sometimes you got to say controversial stuff to get those late YouTube likes. Love you, Booms. Like, comment, subscribe. And with that, check us out. Wait, before like, comment, subscribe. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, KocoSports. We're on Twitch every day. January 1st. That already passed. April 1st, full-time nerd. With that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.